recognize the member for Kingston and the Islands.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I am deeply honored and humble to rise today for the first time in this legislature as the new member representing Kingston and the Islands to speak to you on the throne speech. But first, please allow me to give you some personal reflections on our great riding, a few tidbits on my past experience, and how this has framed my standing here in the legislature today. The residents of Kingston and the Islands have put their trust in me to work hard and to act with integrity on their behalf. I accept this responsibility wholeheartedly and without reservation. In addition, I will always be cognizant and eternally grateful for the assistance, the energy, the imagination, and the faith of my family, friends, and the numerous campaign volunteers who worked with me. But for all of you, I would not be standing here today. I would like to welcome to the legislature, a warm welcome, in fact, to my daughter Linnea, to my father, and to my partner Chris, who have come from Kingston to be with me today. Chris, to you, I owe you my eternal thanks for your unwavering support, your wisdom, and your razor-sharp wit. No political campaign should be without a Chris. I couldn't think of a better person to join me on this journey. We are so blessed to have you in our lives. I would also like to thank Dan Couture, who's up above us. Dan, can you... When I told Dan that I was running back in December, he said to me plain and simply and instantly, "Sophie, you will win." So thank you for that support. I would also like to thank Sam Lalden. Sam has also traveled from Kingston to be with us today. There he is. I was born and raised in Kingston, and I ask that you indulge me as I speak of my immeasurable love and affection for this great riding and its people, as we can see by evidence of those who are here today. Kingston and the Islands is a unique and truly beautiful place, situated at the confluence of natural waterways where the limestone meets the Shield. We Kingstonians are proud of our heritage and culture as illustrated by our many festivals, historic buildings, and tourist attractions, and we are very protective of our natural environment. Needless to say, we are extremely happy about our 30-minute rush hour. Sorry, folks. I invite you all to visit our city and her islands and bask in a welcome that will make you feel as if you have arrived at home. Beyond our numerous picturesque vistas and rich historical haunts, I cannot describe in sufficient terms the great admiration that I have for the spirited people of this community. The makeup of our residents is unique and diverse. Consider the staff and students of Queen's University, St. Lawrence College, and the Royal Military College. Then consider the soldiers, families, and the support staff at the Canadian Forces Base. We have 3 acclaimed hospitals, vibrant business communities, and artistic communities, world-famous restaurants, and of course, as you all know, too many prisons to mention. We also have Ojibwe, Mohawk, and Cree First Nations who call Kingston home. Kingstonians are not afraid to fight for what they believe in, a fact that could not be better exemplified than when the federal government closed the prison farms. I applaud the activists who are part of that continuing protest, some of whom still hold a vigil every Monday evening, rain or shine, sleet or hail. I would also like to say a few words today about my predecessor, John Garretson. John, I thank you. Your amazing spirit, your generosity extended to me and to others, and your dedication to good governance will not be forgotten. Every day that I have been here thus far, your former colleagues have approached me and spoken of your outstanding commitment to our community. You have cared deeply for the underprivileged, and there are numerous examples of your good work and good heart in every corner of our riding. Since this is the first day of the 41st Parliament of Ontario, I thought it apropos to speak a little bit about the past, about the future, and about the journey that we in this room will share together. 7 months ago, I would not have imagined myself within these walls, never mind addressing my peers with this maiden speech. I feel truly blessed to be here. Over the course of time, however seasoned I become in deliberating the daily affairs of the province and our riding, I will never lose sight of the privilege of service that has been bestowed on me by my community. In my 7 years of serving the federal interests of Kingstonians in the offices of the Honourable Peter Milliken, the former Speaker of the House, and the current MP, Ted Hsu, I had the good fortune to learn about the concerns and aspirations of our residents through what feels like the lens of a microscope. At the same time, I became very mindful of the fact that we, as elected representatives, are charged with acting in the best interests of all people, regardless of race, color, economic background, gender, sexual orientation, or political affiliation. In the widest sense, I believe this speech from the throne embodies this complexity and responsibility profoundly. In embracing fairness, accountability, and collaboration, this government seeks to build trust and consensus. This, in turn, leads to greater political engagement and to the empowerment of constituents. In this model, government can and will be a force for the good. Each election is a repository of the electorate's hopes. Looking around this chamber today and last week, I think it is clear that Ontarians want more women in politics, they want more diversity in politics, and they want a steady, progressive approach to managing all aspects of the financial and social economy. In reintroducing the budget, already tabled in May, a budget widely praised at the time, this government has reaffirmed its commitment to an inclusive and innovative agenda, an agenda that will inspire our youth through opportunity, an agenda that will attract new businesses and new jobs to Ontario, an agenda that will invest in the next generation of transit and transportation infrastructure, an agenda that seeks to alleviate the causes of poverty and ill health, and most importantly, an agenda firmly focused on fiscal responsibility. On a personal level, I was inspired and I saw many others inspired by Premier Wynn's leadership. Her energy, her integrity, her positive approach, and her unwavering commitment to building Ontario up steadily and sustainably without leaving any of its people behind clearly resonated with the wishes of a majority in this province. I share her vision of a fair and just Ontario. Perhaps more than anything, and I heard this on the doorstep time and time again, there's a yearning for public servants who live up to certain standards of good governance, like even-handedness and commitment to a wider public and community good. This expectation is surely a very reasonable one, and it's one I wholeheartedly support and will strive to embody. In the folklore of the Ojibwe, one of Ontario's first peoples whose land we share, this is the time of 7 fires, a time of choice, a fork in the road, if you will. There are many challenges that lie ahead: food security, resource limits, maintaining clean air and water, poverty reduction, how we care for the aged, the sick, and the mentally ill. The seeds of change planted in the way we govern today and in the investments we make in our people tomorrow will help our children and our children's children to overcome these challenges. Had my mother lived to see this day, she would have been so proud. Even though she passed away more than 10 years ago, her voice was heard through the people I canvassed who knew her as a respected physiotherapist. It was in caring for her in her last year that I actually returned from my business life in Toronto to Kingston. So in some abstract sense, it is because of her that I find myself back in here, the provincial capital, today. If it is true that the departed live in the hearts of those who love them, thank you. Sorry, I wasn't gonna do this. I'm really tired. That the departed live in the hearts of those who love them, then surely she is here with me today. Please allow me to borrow the words of Linda Ellis in her poem, The Dash, when she speaks of the punctuation mark between the date of our birth and the date of our death on a tombstone. And forgive me if you've heard it before. For it matters not how much we own, the cars, the house, the cash. What matters is how we live and love and how we spend our dash. So when your eulogy is being read with your life's actions to rehash, would you be proud of the things they say and how you spent your dash? I commit to this chamber. I will use my time in this great place, steeped in tradition and history, this part of my own dash, working hard and never losing sight of how and why I got here. I will always feel gratitude to those that inspired me and helped me along the way, and to the residents of Kingston and the islands. So when it comes time to leave this earth in whatever fashion, fancy cars, opulent homes, the stuff that some work so hard to gather, matters not. I believe that there is no greater legacy to leave behind than to have made a positive difference in the lives of others. That is what this journey is all about for me. And this is exactly the sentiment I see echoed in every aspect of this throne speech. A sincere wish to make a positive difference in the lives of others. Mr. Speaker, I look forward to making that difference together with each and every one of you, with my colleagues on both sides of this floor, with the leaders of the opposition, with the clerks in the House, with the staff in these great halls. I make a commitment to all of you that I will do my best to serve the people of Kingston and the Islands to the best of my ability. And of course, I will work alongside our Premier to do whatever I can to make sure that this throne speech is carried out in this House and in our constituency offices to the best of my abilities. I thank you. Je vous remercie tout du fond de mon cœur. Miigwech. Thank you.